Hi friends, welcome aboard. If you have any requests, feel free to add them into the chat. Happy Thursday. Another minute or so. If you have any requests, you can drop them in the chat. As usual, if you have a block or a pillow nearby, any other props, you can grab them now. All right, let's move over to our mats. We're going to start out in a child's pose. So draw the big toes to touch, knees nice and wide. Snuggle the hips back towards your heels. And if you have a prop or something you want to use to elevate your chest, you can take that now. Just give yourself a moment here to settle in. With each inhale, feel the torso expand. And as it collapses on each exhale, let the hips press further back towards the heels. Imagine someone pulling back on your hip creases. Take that cycle of breath as you settle in. Feel each fingerprint make contact with the mat. Allow your forehead to ground. Maybe rock the head from side to side, massage out the forehead. And allow the breath to naturally get deeper. Try not to force anything. Good. We'll start to deepen the breath here. So start with an exhale, press the air out of the body. As you inhale, expand through the chest and collarbones, fill up the throat and upper back. Open mouth, exhale, press the air out. Inhale through the nose, let it expand the ribs, the mid-back, chest, and upper back. Big open mouth, exhale, release. Next, inhale, inflate the low belly, low back, ribs, and chest. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. And take that cycle of breath 2 or 3 more times. Maybe holding at the top, feeling expanded before you release for a smooth exhale. Become curious and investigate the breath from a new angle. Good. On the next breath, pull yourself up to a tabletop. Move any props to the side. We'll stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread the fingertips wide, spin the inside creases of the elbows forward. And this nice, strong, and rooted tabletop. We'll inhale down for cow pose, drop the belly down, reach the head and hips up. Without moving them, energetically drag the wrist creases back towards your knees, broaden across your chest, kiss the shoulder blades together. Exhale for cat pose. Press the mat away, dome up the upper back, gaze at the belly button. Inhale for cow, drop the belly down. And exhale cat, press the mat away. Cycle through these 2 shapes on your own. And then after a couple of rounds at the pace of your own breath, we'll bring the head and hips into opposite circles. So there's really no right or wrong way to do this. You kind of just feel it out. You're going to trace a circle with the head, and then let that circular motion kind of ripple down towards the hips, rotating the spine, rotating the neck. And then when you're ready, you can switch directions. Maybe close the eyes, feel it out. Kind of like you're stirring a bowl of soup right at the center of your core. Good, we'll come back to center. We'll plant through the left palm. Inhale, reach the right arm up, and then we'll draw the right fingers behind the right ear, peel the right shoulder and chest back. Try to press through the fingertips on the left hand so you're not dumping into the left shoulder. Take an inhale. Exhale, close it off, right elbow to left wrist. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close it off. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to wrist. Good, this time we'll reach the fingertips all the way up. Exhale, thread the needle, right wrist behind the left, right ear and right shoulder, ground down. Left palm can stay by the nose, it can reach up and overhead, or wrap around to the back right pocket. Press into the outside of the right arm, peel the left shoulder back. Really breathe into that space around the right shoulder. Good, we'll ground through the left palm, press through the fingertips, open up the chest, and take some wrist rolls on the way down. Take a cat and cow, reset the spine. Good, this time we'll ground through the right palm. Inhale, open up the chest. Draw the left fingertips behind the left ear, peel the left elbow and chest back. Take a breath in. Exhale, close it off, elbow to right wrist. Twice more, use the breath, inhale. Exhale, close it off. Inhale, open, press through the fingertips, try not to dump into the right shoulder. Exhale, lower. Good, this time we'll open all the way up, reach the fingertips tall, maybe follow the fingers with the gaze. Exhale, thread the needle, left wrist behind the right. Same option, palm can stay by the nose, it can reach up and over or around towards the back left pocket. Imagine peeling your right side chest open, press into the outside of the left arm, breathe into that space underneath the left shoulder blade. Good, we'll draw the right palm by the nose, reverse your way out, open up the chest, and take some wrist rolls on the way down on this left side. Good, we'll send the right toes long behind us, tuck them under, get a nice stretch on the right calf. And then we're gonna lift or tuck the left toes under and just hit the hips up and back as if you're going into a down dog. The focus here is really for the bottom of the right calf. So you should be nice and light in the left toes. It's kind of like half of when you're pedaling out the heels. Good, inhale to come forward. Right toes stay behind you, back to the tabletop. And then we'll lift the right heel up to hip height. Close off the bottom rib, send the crown of the head away from the heel. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw the knee in towards your nose. Pull up from that right hip crease. Good, inhale twice more, flex the right foot as you kick back. Exhale, knee in towards your nose, point the right foot. Once more, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Good, inhale, kick it back. Exhale, close it off, tabletop. Good, second side, send the left toes back. Rock forward and back, check in with the calf. And then we'll press through the palms, send the hips up and back. Nice and light on these right toes. Focusing on the bottom of that left calf down towards the Achilles. Good, come forward, back to that tabletop, left toes stay behind you. And we'll kick the heel up to hip height. Take a moment here to close it off, send the weight equally between your hands. Flex through the left foot, close off the bottom ribs. Lengthen here on the inhale. Exhale, knee in towards your nose. Find a bit of cat in your upper back. Inhale, kick long. Exhale, draw in. Good, inhale, send it long. Exhale, draw it in. Good, this time we'll send the left toes behind us, then the right toes to meet it, coming to a high plank. Then press the hips up and back. Find your first downward facing dog. And this time you can pedal out the heels, taking turns with the feet. Shake the head, no and yes. Just explore here. Good, we'll gaze forward at the fingertips, spread the fingertips wide, send the inside creases of the elbows forward, and draw a bend to the knees, send the hips further up and back. Take a breath in here, seal in this shape. Open mouth, exhale, let some heat go. Inhale, gaze forward at the hands. Exhale, tip-toe the feet to meet the hands, ragdoll pose. We'll meet at the top here, feet hips width distance or wider. Grab for opposite elbows, gently sway from side to side. Let the head hang heavy, shake it yes or no. Rock more weight towards your toes and then towards your heels. Good, release the fingertips down. We'll heel toe the feet back to hips width distance. Take an inhale, find a halfway lift. Draw the fingertips towards the shins or thighs. Slide the shoulder blades down into your back pocket and rock more weight towards your toes. Take a breath in, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, fold a little deeper, let it go. Good, we'll bring a slight bend to the knees, tuck the chin to the chest. Gently roll up one vertebra at a time, stacking bone by bone, letting the head come up last. Once you land at the top, find a couple shoulder rolls. We'll meet in mountain pose, Tadasana. Fingertips spread wide by your sides. Really firmly root into the soles of your feet. Imagine splitting your mat lengthwise, so lighting up the outside line of your legs. Slight bend in the knees, reach the tailbone down, hip points up. Feel strong and rooted here. And we'll inhale up for tall mountain, fingertips reach tall. Spin the pinkies in so much that your palms might face behind you. Take a breath in, lift from the chest. Exhale, baby back bend, spin the elbows, the pinkies in, bend the elbows to 90 degrees, lift the chest and chin. Good, inhale back to tall mountain. Exhale, standing forward, fold, hinge from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine here. Exhale, low lunge on the right, slide the left toes back. We'll tent up high on the fingertips here, or if you have two props and you want to give yourself a little bit more height, make sure your stance is nice and wide, each foot and hand in their own lane, right knee not coming past your right toes. We'll extend through the back heel, light up the front of the left leg. Exhale, lower the left knee to a hover, get a little more length on the left quad. Two more here, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower to a hover, increasing that tension in the quad. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower this time all the way down. We'll untuck the back toes. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to those cactus arms. So we're at 90 degrees at the elbows, spin the pinkies in and press the hips forward, get a little more length on that back quad. Lift the chest and chin, maybe take this to a bit of a back bend. Reaching the elbows forward, fingertips back. Good. Inhale, the fingertips reach tall for a low crescent lunge. And we'll settle in here, slide the shoulders right into their sockets. Good. Inhale, fingertips reach forward, palms face one another. Exhale to pull the right fingertips back for a twist, like you're opening up a bowstring. Twice more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, fingertips reach back. Hips are square, sacrum parallel with the front edge of the mat. Once more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back, really pinching that place between the shoulder blades. Good. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, we'll frame the front foot. Tuck the left toes, step the right toes back, and pause in your high plank. Good. We'll ground both knees, untuck the toes for a modified plank. Inhale, press through the fingerprints. Exhale, lower all the way down with control, hug the elbows in. Inhale, up for baby cobra, shrug the shoulders back and down, lift the palms and chest, kiss the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, tabletop, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. 3 breaths here. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale here once again through the nose. Open mouth, release. And we'll inhale here to seal our lips. Exhale through the nose for some textured breath in the back of the throat. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release over the legs. Inhale, tee out the arms, rise with a flat back all the way to tall mountain. Exhale, baby back bend, open up the front body. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, low lunge on the left, right toes slide back. Each hand and foot in their own lane, left knee over left ankle, nice and high on the fingertips or using props. Take an inhale, lengthen the right heel behind you. Exhale, lower the right knee to a hover. 2 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and land. Untuck the toes all the way. Reach the fingertips up to those cactus arms. Spin the pinkies in. Press the right hip crease forward. Lift the chest and chin. Then maybe find a bit of an upper back bend. Elbows reach forward, fingertips slightly back. Good. Inhale all the way up to your low crescent lunge. And settle in here. Plug the shoulders right back in. Inhale, palms reach forward, facing one another. Exhale, left fingertips pull back for that bowstring. Twice more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, open up, hips and sacrum stay parallel. Once more, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. Good. Inhale, forward. Exhale, down to frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, and step back to a high plank. Knees can be up or down here. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, lower all the way down in one piece, elbows hug in. Keep the palms planted by the ribs. Shrug the shoulders back and down. Inhale, cobra pose, slight bend in the elbows, lift the chest and chin. Exhale, lower back down. We'll tuck the toes, either rise up through a high plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Find the breath here, 3 rounds. Take what you need. And try not to allow this down dog to be routine. Really explore something new. Good. Inhale to gaze forward at the fingertips. Exhale, tiptoe to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, out around and up to tall mountain with a flat back. Exhale, find that baby back bend, engage the back body to open up the front body. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, back to the right, step the left toes back. We'll find those spider fingers. Inhale, lengthen the left heel. Exhale, lower to a hover with the left knee. Twice more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower all the way. This time, keep the left toes tucked so you get a little extra length on the left quad. We'll spin the pinkies in, press the hips forward. Inhale to lift the front body. Exhale for a bit of that back bend, bending from behind the heart. Good. Inhale for your low crescent lunge, fingertips reach tall. This time we'll take this to a hamstring stretch. So we'll tip the hips back towards the left heel. You might crawl the right toes forward. It's a great place for a prop behind the right heel. Right toes can flex up towards the face or they can reach pressing down to the mat. 3 breaths here. You can let them be passive, just bending over the right leg, or take them like halfway lift. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower. Take 1 more wherever you are. Awesome. We'll rebend the front knee. Frame the front foot, lift the back knee, and step back to a high plank. Knees can be up or down here. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, lower, halfway down, option for chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog. Flip to the tops of the feet, straighten out the elbows. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips reach up and back. Big breath in through the nose. Maybe flutter out the lips, let some heat go. Inhale for 2 more breaths. Exhale, slow it down. Breath in, try not to anticipate. Exhale to be here and now. Good. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, tee out the arms, rise out around and up. Exhale, baby back bend, open up the chest. Inhale, back to tall mountain. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, low lunge on the left. Find that nice wide base. High up on spider fingers. Inhale, lengthen through the back heel. Exhale, lower to a hover. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep the back toes tucked. Inhale for that cactus arm back bend. Spin the pinkies in. Inhale, lift the front body. Exhale, press the hips forward. Good. Inhale for your low crescent lunge. Fingertips reach tall. Exhale, send the hips back for 3 breaths in your hamstring stretch of choice. So toes up or down, either passive or take them as halfway lift. Imagining you're inflating a balloon right behind the left thigh. Good. We'll rebend the front knee. Lift the back knee, step the left toes back. Inhale, press the mat away. This time we'll lower all the way down onto our bellies, untuck the toes. Good. Let's press through the palms and sit the hips back with the knees. Stay touching in this brief child's pose. Good. And then we'll inhale to roll back forward to a modified plank, knees together, shoulders over wrists. Stay for the exhale. Set up this shape, one long line from shoulders to knees. Good. We'll inhale as we lower down all the way to our bellies for some modified tricep push-ups. Exhale as we press the mat away. Good. 2 more. Inhale, lower down. Use the exhale as you press away from the floor. Good. Once more. Inhale to lower down. Exhale, press the mat away all the way back to a child's pose. Good. You can stay with the knees together or open the knees wide. Find 3 to 5 breaths here. And just check in with the body. You notice a temperature change, you feel the heartbeat dancing around your chest. Good. We'll pull back up to a tabletop. We'll tuck the toes under and send the hips back, downward facing dog. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale, release. Inhale, gaze forward at the hands. Exhale, travel to the top, forward fold. Feet hips width distance here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, hands out, around and up. Exhale, right back down, tee out the arms, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, we'll slide the left toes back, low lunge on the right. Good, widen out your base here. Inhale, rise up for your high crescent lunge. Slight bend in the back knee. Let the shoulders stack over the hips. And magnetize the inner thighs towards one another, keeping everything pulling in towards the midline. Good, we'll reach the fingertips forward on an inhale, palms face one another. Exhale for that open T twist, right fingertips reach back. Good, keep the hips square, twice more. Inhale, reach forward, challenge to balance. Exhale, open to the right. Maybe find a point to focus on or just be. Once more, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach it back. Good, this time we'll reach both fingertips forward. Inhale, exhale, circle open to a warrior 2. The left heel seals down about 45 degrees. Right heel in line with the back inner arch. Shrug the shoulders back and down, gaze past the front fingertips. And press the right knee out towards the short edge of your foot. Good, inhale, reach forward through the right fingertips. Exhale, extended side angle. Left fingertips up and over, right forearm ground. Rotate the torso towards the ceiling. Notice if you're holding on to breath. Good, we'll inhale, rise up to straighten out the front leg, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse triangle. Let the left palm rest on the back thigh or back onto the sacrum. Press the hips forward as you root the right big toe mound into the mat, reaching through the right fingertips, opening up the whole right side. Good. Well, inhale, rise up, straight arms, straight legs. Maybe shorten your stance by a step or two. Setting up for a triangle. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, triangle pose, like you're set between two planes of glass. Right fingertips can meet the top of the shin, the top of the foot, or a prop on the outside of the right leg, encouraging the chest further open. Micro bend the right knee, protect it from hyperextending. Open up the chest. Gaze wherever is comfortable for the neck. Good. We'll inhale to rise back up for our warrior two. Rebend the front knee. Exhale, we'll frame the front foot and come back to a low lunge. So widen out your stance, each hand and foot in their own lane. We'll slide the back toes forward enough so both feet can ground, setting up for pyramid pose. Focusing more on that front hamstring. You can angle the back toes out slightly for a wider base. And it's a great place for a prop in front of that right foot. Pull back through the right hip crease. Really set up this shape with some integrity. Notice where the breath is. Maybe let the chin fall into the chest as you start to soften in. So take about 3 more breaths staying right here. If you want to move towards revolved pyramid, you can bring a prop or maybe even just your fist on the inside of your right foot. And we'll start by drawing the right hand, the palm of the right hand right towards the sacrum. As you do so, start to open the chest to the right. You might already feel a stretch on the outside of the right leg. You can stay right here or reach the right fingertips all the way up for a revolved pyramid. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, close it off. Bring a slight bend into the front knee and just step the left toes forward to a forward fold. Shake it out, pedal at the heels. Shake the head no and yes. Feet hips width distance. So inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tee out the arms, rise out around and up, tall mountain. Exhale, right back down, swan dive over the legs, forward fold. And to the second side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, slide the right toes back, low lunge on the left. Widen out your base. Inhale, rise up for your high crescent lunge, slight bend in the back knee. Press the hips forward, reach the chest up. Good. From here, inhale, reach the palms to face forward to one another. Exhale, pull the left fingertips back for that open T twist. Good, twice more. Use that stability. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, left fingertips back, low back and hips parallel to the front of the mat. Once more, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, pull it back. Awesome. Inhale, fingertips reach forward. Exhale, burst open to your warrior two. Right heel seals behind you. Left foot steps over a bit to be in line with your back inner arch. A nice deep front knee bend. Find the breath, shrug the shoulders back and down. Gaze past the front fingertips. Good. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Right fingertips up and over, left forearm ground. Take some weight out of the bottom forearm and rotate the chest open to the ceiling. Press the right knee out, or the left knee rather, outward towards the left pinky side edge of the foot. Good. Inhale, rise up, straight arms, straight legs. Flip the front palm up. Exhale, tip it back, reverse triangle. Right fingertips to the back thigh or towards the sacrum. We press the hips forward, open up the whole left side of the body. Press down through the left big toe mound. Awesome. Inhale, rise up, straight arms, straight legs. Set up for triangle, maybe shorten the stance. Reach forward through the left fingertips. Exhale, triangle pose. Left fingertips meet the left shin, the top of the foot, or a prop on the outside of the left leg. So the right shoulder back and the crown of the head forward. So that space around the right hip open up. Let the gaze follow wherever is comfortable for the neck. Good. We'll bring a bend to the left knee, rise back up through a warrior two. We'll exhale to frame the front foot back to our low lunge, widen at the base. 2 lanes for the hands and feet. And then we'll step the right toes in as much as we need to set up for pyramid pose. It's a great place for a prop in front of the left foot. You can angle out the back toes if you want a bit of a wider base. Pull back through the left hip crease. Settle into this shape, focusing on the back line of the front leg. Maybe the chin can curl into the chest. Good. We can stay right here for 3 more breaths, or if you want to move towards revolved pyramid, either bring your hand or a prop to the inside of the left foot. Draw the left palm towards the sacrum and rotate the chest open to the left. So start to feel some movement along the outside of the left leg. If you want to peel it all the way open, extend the left fingertips tall. And pinching that space between the shoulder blades. Good. Start to unravel. Come back to this pyramid pose, and we'll step the right toes forward to meet the left. Pedal it out in a forward fold. Good. From this forward fold, I'm going to widen our feet generously, setting up for a yogi squat. So toes point slightly out, heels point slightly in, and slide the hips down to sit nice and low. If you want to support the hips with a prop, be here for a few moments. So you want to feel comfortable. I'm going to press the knees away from the midline. I'm going to start by grounding the left palm right in line with the left toes. Reach the right fingertips up and over. Get a nice side body stretch. Let the gaze fall wherever is comfortable. Allow the top palm to face down. Good. Inhale, come back through center. Palms at heart center. Lengthen through the spine. Think like a halfway lift. Then exhale, drop the right fingertips down in line with the toes. Left fingertips circle up and over. Opening up the whole left side. And the legs a bit of a break. Good. Inhale, come back through center. Palms meet in front of your heart. We'll send the fingertips down, sit the hips up high. And then heel toe the feet in. Maybe shake it out, pedal out through the feet. Awesome. Let's add on one more layer here. Inhale, take a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reverse the swan dive, tee out the arms. Exhale, dive it right back down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, slide the left toes back to a low lunge. Inhale, rise up for that high crescent lunge, slight bend in the back knee. Exhale, we'll open up right away to our warrior two. Inhale, we'll reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Stay here for a whole round of breath. Good. Inhale, rise up, straight arms, straight legs. Tip it up and back, reverse triangle. Good. Inhale, rise up, straight arms, straight legs. Option to come into triangle pose, or if you want to play with a little bit of balance, we'll take balancing half moon. So either we reach all the way forward and down for triangle, or for half moon, draw the left hand to the left hip, start to hop the left toes forward, and then with the hips open to the left side, coming to balance on our right leg. You can draw the fingertips down towards the mat a few inches outside of your right foot, or you can use a prop here, bringing the floor a bit closer. Just like in triangle pose, as we peel the left side of the chest open, try to take that same alignment here. Left hand can stay on the hip, where you can reach the left fingertips all the way up. And it helps to flex that left foot, keeping the top leg active. Good. If you're in half moon, we'll start to rebend the front knee, coming back down into warrior two. If you're in triangle pose, rise back up. We'll all meet straight arms, straight legs. Let's pivot all our toes to face the front edge of the mat. Inhale, tee out the arms, puff up the chest. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold over the legs. Opening up the hamstrings and inner thighs a bit here. You can shake out your tail, shake the head yes or no. Take about 3 breaths, slowing it down, letting the head below the heart Naturally cool the body, slow the heart rate. Good. We'll tense up high onto the fingertips and crawl them over to the right so we come back to a low lunge on the right side. Good. So we've been opening up and using all three planes. So we're going to make our way towards revolved half moon, but there's going to be lots of places to stop on your way there if you're moving towards it. So we're in our low lunge now. We're going to make our way starting out to a supported warrior three. So fingertips can come to the mat or to a prop, and we'll lift the back heel. So this differs from half moon because our hips are square face down. We're still balancing on this right leg. You can stay right here. If you want to move towards revolved half moon, you can bring the prop or your left hand to the inside of the right foot and draw your right hand to your sacrum. Kind of like revolved pyramid. You might already feel the opening on the outside of your right leg. You can stay here or eventually reach the right fingertips all the way up. If this makes the breath a little bit too sticky, draw the right hand back to the low back. Left foot stays flexed, stay with it. Awesome job. We'll draw the left toes to meet the right. Come to a forward fold at the top of the mat and shake it out. Good. Let's widen the feet here. Find a nice gentle ragdoll pose with as much effort as you committed to holding those balancing postures. Commit just as much here to finding some softness. Let the knees bend so much that all the spine has to do is round over the thighs. Try to lengthen the exhales a bit more than the inhales. And send yourself some mid-class love for showing up. What we do on our mats here is all a practice. And the way that we approach difficulty is a parallel to how we might do it off our mats. Take that mindset, maybe that practice into the second side. From ragdoll, we'll melt the fingertips all the way down. Heel toe the feet back to hips width distance. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, reverse the swan dive, reach out around and up, take up lots of space. Exhale, dive it right back down, tee out the arms. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, low lunge on the left, slide the right toes back. Widen out the base. Inhale, rise up for your high crescent lunge, slight bend in the back knee. Exhale, burst open to your warrior two, set up the base. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Stay for a full rounded breath. Find that rotation in the upper body. Inhale, rise up, straight arms, straight legs. Flip the front palm up. Exhale, reverse triangle, right fingertips to the back thigh or sacrum. Left palm high fives the wall behind you. Good. Inhale, rise up, straight arms, straight legs. You can shorten the stance and go into triangle pose. Or if you want to take your way to balancing half moon, right hand comes to the right hip. Start to walk the right toes forward. Lower the left hand on a prop or on the floor outside of the left foot. Right leg comes up to hip height. Nice and active. Flex through those right toes. Right hand can stay on the hip, or you can reach the fingertips all the way up, opening the chest to the right. Notice if you're holding breath. Show up for yourself here. Good. We'll bring the right hand down to the hip. Rebend the left knee, and we'll come back, all meeting, rising up, straight arms, straight legs. Let's point all the toes to the long edge of the mat. Inhale, puff up the chest. Exhale, dive over the legs, wide-legged forward fold. Shake out the hips here. Shake the head, knowing yes. Slow it down, cool the breath. Maybe press the exhales through the mouth. That's 3 more rounds. You can rock the weight towards your toes and towards your heels. Maybe shake out the tail a bit, get into the inner thighs. Good, let's inhale, back up onto spider fingers, long spine. Exhale, walk the fingertips to the left, coming to a low lunge. So making our way ultimately to revolved half moon. You can stop at any point in any of these midpoint poses. We'll start with supported warrior 3. Straighten out the left leg, right heel lifts up to hip height. can stay on spider fingers or draw the hands to a prop. And you're welcome to stay right here. If you want to keep going, draw the prop or your right hand to the inside of the left foot. Left hand comes to the sacrum. Start to roll the chest open to the left. Lift through that right heel. Keep the back leg active. Ultimately, we reach the left fingertips tall. Try to keep lifting through that right hip crease. Don't allow it to roll in. Let the breath move freely. Okay, we'll all close it back off to supported warrior 3 and step the right toes forward to a forward fold. Awesome job. Pedal out the heels, shake the head, no and yes. Slow down the breath. Good. We'll inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. Inhale, tee up the arms, reverse the swan dive, back to tall mountain. Exhale, take a baby back bend, open up the chest. Inhale, reach the fingertips tall. And we'll just draw the palms down to heart center. Press the base of the thumbs in towards the heart. Let the heartbeat bounce against your hands. Rooting through the soles of the feet. Pulling energy all the way up through the floor to the crown of the head. If you close your eyes here, take a moment for yourself. Good, we'll flutter the eyes open, draw the palms down by our sides. We'll take a nice hips width stance. Sitting up for just a little bit of balancing. Rock from side to side. Let the feet distribute the weight. Next time you lean over to the left, let the right toes draw some semicircles. Should be nice and plugged into our balancing mind space. So when you're ready, make your way to your tree pose, either kickstand the toes, draw the heel in towards the ankle. You can find the whole sole of the foot on the inner calf, or avoiding the left knee, bring the sole of the foot towards the inner thigh. Let that right knee press out towards the right, finding external rotation in the right hip. Let your branches fall wherever feels right, either heart center, opening the arms wide. Or if you want a bit of chest expansion, you can grab opposite forearms behind your back or clasp the hands at the low back, puffing up the chest. Find your expression of tree pose. Slowing it down here. Good. We'll start to release the branches down by our sides. And we'll bring the hands to the hips, coming up to a one-legged mountain. So 90 degrees at hips, knee, and ankle. We'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh and sit it back to a figure 4 chair. Draw the palms to heart center, giving the outer hips a bit of love. After all the stabilizing, it's done. Or you can reach the hands out for a counterweight. Okay, drive through that standing foot, come back up to one-legged mountain. Exhale, lower down and shake it out. Good. Take it to the second side. Rock from side to side. Let the weight ultimately lean over to the right. Left toes draw some semicircles. Maybe take a reset with yourself, knowing it's not about the result, but it's how you show up. When you're ready, find your shape in tree pose, either kickstand, calf, or inner thigh. Press that standing leg right back into the sole of the left foot. Let your branches go wherever feels right. Maybe meet this side with some softness. Unclench the jaw, soften the muscles in the face and neck. Maybe bring a little smile to your lips. Good. One more bit of balancing. We'll draw the hands down to the hips. Bring that left knee up to hip height. One-legged mountain. Square off the hips, 90 degrees at hip, knee, and ankle. Then we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Flex through both feet. Sit the hips back. Hands come to heart center or reach out as a counterbalance. Sending some love to the outer hips. Good. Drive through that standing leg back to one-legged mountain. And lower down, shake it up. Good. Inhale, reach the hands out, around and up, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive over the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lift and lengthen. Exhale, last call for vinyasa or press right back to downward dog. Take a flow here or meet yourself where you need to be. Revisit this shape, settle in. Well, inhale, kick the right heel high. Exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip, find scorpion pose, right heel towards your left glute. Inhale, square it off, flex the right foot. Exhale, half pigeon on the right. Right knee towards your right wrist. Left toes extend behind you. You can support the hips with the prop or take the whole shape on your back. Finding a supine figure 4. So if you're upright, take some time to settle in as you melt over the front leg. Bring in some softness. Direct the breath around the right hip. Let the chest melt closer to the floor. Try to lengthen the exhales a bit longer than the inhales. Find about 3 more rounds of breath on this side. With each exhale, bring a little bit more heaviness to the lower back. The hips melt further down. Good. We'll slowly press back up onto palms. If you're on your back, you can go ahead and switch sides. And we'll tuck the back toes under. Step back to a downward dog. Pedal out the heels here. Notice the difference between the two sides. And we'll kick the left heel high, inhale. Exhale, scorpion on the left. Reach the heel towards the right glute, open up the hips. Keep the chest and shoulders square. Inhale, square it off. Kick the left heel high, flex the left foot. Exhale, half pigeon on the left. Left knee towards the left wrist. Right toes point behind us. Support yourself however you need it with props or on your back. Think of a halfway lift as you come up onto spider fingers and gently lower yourself down to your expression of half pigeon. Take the same care to slowly settle into this second side. Take about 3 more rounds of breath here. Notice what bubbles to the surface. In these moments of stillness that challenge us. How can we practice meeting those with patience? Maybe with some curiosity about their source. Good. We'll gently press back up onto palms. We'll sit our weight over to the left and swing the right leg around. If you're on your back, rock and roll up to a seat. We'll send the feet in front of us, fingertips behind us, and windshield wiper our shins from side to side. Good. We'll keep working with these outer hips. So we're going to make our way towards cow face pose. We'll start by reaching the right heel back towards the left glute. And then the goal is to stack the left knee right on top of the right. So that's not there for us. You can keep the sole of the left foot just planted right in front of you. So if our knees are stacked here, it helps to press into the soles of the feet, wiggle the hips a little bit, and then sit them right back down. And with the hips stacked, if you're curious about the name of the pose, the 2 feet are the ears of the cow, and then the knees are the face. Got to use a little bit of imagination. Good, so we can stay right here. You might already feel the outer hips opening up a little bit more. If you want to take the arm variation, circle the hands out, around, and up. The right hand will come to the center of the shoulder blades, and we'll start with a bit of a tricep stretch just to warm up into this here. Good. The left fingertips will circle down and around, and maybe your fingertips come to touch. Maybe you grab onto your shirt. And then eventually we start to lean the chest forward, bringing some opening into the upper back. Good. Keep the feet flexed. Good. Inhale, rise back out of it. Release the top right arm first. Stabilize that left shoulder, and then unravel the left shoulder. Good, so we're gonna take a fun transition here. I like to call it the James Brown. We're gonna keep the feet exactly where they are. Lean the weight over to the right. Sit the hips up, swing it around, and then you'll wind up with the top knees now on the bottom. So if it didn't work, ultimately we have our right leg on top, left leg on the bottom. Press into the soles of the feet, wiggle out the hips, set them right back down. Got your 2 ears, your cow face, everything's here. You can stay right here if we feel the opening in the outer hips. We want to add the arm variation. This time the left tricep comes into a stretch, palming the space between your shoulder blades. And then we can reach the right fingertips down and around. You might notice one side can get into this arm variation a little easier. This side for me is a bit easier. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lean forward. And how far you lean forward should really be dictated by the sensations in your low back. Remember, this arm variation is optional. You're always welcome to just crawl the fingertips forward, take a passive fold over the legs. We'll inhale to rise out of it. Release the top left arm first. Brace and stabilize the right shoulder, and then unravel. Good. No funky dance moves this time. We're just going to uncross the legs, send the hips to the center of the mat, feet forward. Then we'll reach the fingertips forward, hug a beach ball in front of you, tuck the chin to the chest, and gently roll onto your back. Use the core as brakes. Okay, give the knees a hug here. We have earned our mats today. Walk from side to side, feel that sacrum, make contact. And we'll plant the feet down, nice and close to the glutes, feet hips width distance. Palms face down by our sides. Inhale, send the hips up for bridge pose. A nice long line from the knees to the hips to the shoulders. Light up the back body to open up the front body. Okay, take one more breath in. Exhale, gently lower down. So we'll take 2 more rounds of bridge with a bunch of variations. Inhale, we can come right back to where we were. You'd like to take the chest opener, clasp the hands of the low back, roll onto the triceps and punch into the floor with the fist. Extra important to engage those inner thighs here as this is a deeper back bend. You might notice chest opener is a little more available with all that upper back mobilizing we did. Good, we'll release our grip and gently lower down. And then final option, you can take one of those first 2 variations, or if you have a prop, elevate the hips here, slide that prop right underneath your sacrum, and find kind of that sweet spot where it feels like the low back is sort of just floating here. Got lots of options. The hands can come out wide to a V. You could widen the feet, let the knees fall into a fallen bridge. Or if you want to find waterfall pose, scoop the block or prop back a little bit more so it's supporting the whole sacrum. And then one at a time, send the legs up to waterfall pose. Again, widening the arms gives a bit of a wider base. Let gravity do some of the work for you here. Maybe wiggle the toes, wave at yourself. Allowing blood to flow back to the heart a little more passively. Good, we'll ease out of it, draw the knees to a bend, and then slowly lower the feet. We'll lift the hips, slide the prop out if you took that variation. And then we'll hug the right knee into the chest, extend the left leg long in front of us. Draw some small circles in the right hip. Inhale, hug the right knee up towards the right shoulder. Exhale, supine twist on the right. Drape the right leg up and over. More important to ground the shoulders than the right knee. So T or cactus out the right arm. Keep the back of the head and shoulders grounded. If you want to catch the knee with a prop, keeping it at hip height. With these inhales, draw in length. These exhales, bring in depth. Good. Inhale to unwind. We'll switch out the legs. To use the prop on one side, bring it to the other side. Draw some small circles with this left hip and knee. And we'll pull the left knee up towards the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, supine twist on the left. Drape the left leg up and over. Tear cactus out the left arm. Ground the shoulders. And you can catch the knee on a block to keep it at hip height. Good, we'll unwind here. Draw the left knee into the chest. Bring the right knee in to meet it. Give yourself another hug. We'll take happy baby, widen the knees, grab for the outsides of the feet or the backs of the thighs, whichever allows you to keep your sacrum grounded. Shine the soles of the feet towards the ceiling, maybe stretch through one leg and then the other. When happy baby no longer serves you, make your way to your final Shavasana, whatever shape serves you. So either a fallen bridge, you can take a supine butterfly, you can extend the legs all the way out. Palms either face up by your sides, or you can ground them somewhere on the body. So try if you want for size and allow one to speak to you. As you settle in, find softness. See the breaths become a bit more shallow. You can let go of any holding onto the breath. Allow the front body to become heavy into the back body, and the back body become heavy into the floor. We'll find stillness here, and I'll guide us out when it's time. Slowly begin to draw your awareness back in. Start out by deepening the breath, inviting small movements in through fingers and toes. You can take a full body stretch, extending out long. Take what serves you here. And then make your way up to a comfortable seat, whichever way serves you best, either via a fetal position or rock and rolling your way up. Maybe you grab behind one knee and then kick through the other heel. So allow yourself to make your way up to a seat, whichever way serves you. And we'll finish out with 3 breaths together. Ground the palms on the thighs, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Either soften or close the eyes here. We'll inhale, circle the hands around and up, palms meet overhead. Exhale, draw the base of the thumbs to the center of your forehead. Thank yourself for showing up, for allowing this to be a practice, and taking something off your mat with you. Next, inhale, hands around and up, palms meet overhead. Exhale, draw the base of the thumbs to the lips, and send gratitude to those who joined you in community and for showing up for themselves. Final breath together, hands around and up. Exhale, draw the base of the thumbs to the heart. Spread the fingertips wide and bow the forehead to the fingertips. A moment here with yourself. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thanks for joining me today, friends. Hope this sets up the rest of your day. Have a great rest of your Thursday. See you all next week. Thanks, Krista.